Step back from the stepping back itself, simultaneously widen out like this, in the way of not grasping for the non-grasping itself. This is helping through unwinding and releasing. All the significance and meanings cannot be used here. Something within something, something and something. That is the form of using the mind with all things. This is karma, mental karma towards all things. The purification of extinction and emptiness is not about relating the mind towards all things. It's not about giving significance to anything. Is it the essence of the blessing or karma to karma? Step back from the stepping back itself. It's not just about step back from the body or the mind. This is not about using the mind towards all things naturally. This is the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. To use the mind to relate with all things is not karma to karma. It's not the way of helping, unwinding or releasing. This is karma to karma. Mind relating to all things is karma to karma. Step back from the stepping back itself simultaneously with everything altogether. Not grasping for the non-grasping itself simultaneously with everything. Let's not be obsessed to use the mind to relate with all things, because that is karma to karma. That is not helping through unwinding and releasing. Let's not be stuck with just relating through the mind, connecting through the mind and all things, because that is mental karma with samsara and everything. Let's not use karma to karma. Let's not use karma to anything. Purify through the extinction. It has nothing to do with mental karma or the mind. Not involved within the non-involvement itself. Step back from it. Step back from not involved, non-involvement. Nothing is within the non-involvement itself. Then you will be enlightened how to help unwind in the way of following the essence for samsara, that is not using the mind towards all things. To follow blessing, following with the mind to relate to all things. In that, it's like you are following something. That is not blessing. Step back from the stepping back itself. Keep the eyes and ears opening. Your eyes are not blind. Your ears are not deaf. Let's proceed with everything all together, that which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. Everything has been given to you. Just use it correctly. Use the reminders that have self-purified. When mentions everything is from not grasping for the non-grasping itself, then just go ahead accordingly. Don't think in other ways. There is no need to modify in other ways. And when it's proceeded altogether, just follow accordingly, as mentioned. This is the essence to help end for samsara. When saying everything is from not involved within the non-involvement itself, just go ahead accordingly. This is not about using the mind to relate with all things or anything of the mind. This is mental karma. When there is just mental karma, it is the karmic difficulties. So when the mind, the body is already formed up, karma is already formed up, let's help unwind for everything, which is the so-called body and mind. Let's not be obsessed to patch up karma to karma, on and on. Let's not be obsessed with giving significance and meanings with anything, because that is karma to karma. Karma adding to karma. Let's use the reminders of the essence. Then it will cut through accordingly, not involved within the non-involvement itself. From not grasping for the non-grasping itself, this is not about not grasping for the body or the mind. That which has nothing to do with grasping or not grasping. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. That which has nothing to do with cutting or not cutting. That is true cutting. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not, that is true disengagement. Not involved within the involvement or non-involvement. Discard the discarding itself. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. Recall it more often. There will be natural cutting to help samsara continuously. That which has nothing to do with not involved within the non-involvement itself, just recall it. This will help cut through for samsara. from deluded knowing continuously. Not involved within the non-involvement itself continuously, whether you are walking, standing, sitting. Use the essence of cutting deluded knowing continuously to help with everything continuously. You are using the body and mind with everything to relate with everything until it's so random. Being obsessed to use significance and meanings until it is circling and then getting confused. That which has nothing to do with discarding or not. Let's not be obsessed to use the mind towards all things. Cut through deluded knowing as helping, not to use knowing to create more karma, on and on. Let's not be in the way of helping each other to create karma more and more. Not involved within the non-involvement itself. Cut through deluded knowing to help one another onwards. Let's not be obsessed to give significance and meanings towards anything. To relate with the minds, with oneself, that is random, that is totally not the essence. That which has nothing to do with disengagements. In this way, naturally, we have nothing to do with the body or the mind and all things. Enable to go beyond body, mind, and everything. This is not in the way of mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, special insights. It's not about anything and anything. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. It's not about significance and meanings. It is not about practicing, developing mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, spiritual insights. This is the purification of the emptiness and the extinction, helping unwinding and releasing and liberation. It is not about pressing the mind in whatever ways, or any types of mind in whatever ways. Helping through unwinding, releasing, helping through ending through the purification of emptiness and extinction. Cut through deluded knowing is not about practicing in whatever ways. That which has nothing to do with engaging or not, it will turn into the automatic purification of the extinction and emptiness. This is not about using efforts to practice the mind in whatever ways. Giving up, even the giving up itself, letting go of even the letting go itself, unwinding even from the unwinding itself. This is not about practicing mindfulness, concentration, contemplation in this way or that way. It is not about practicing Dharma in whatever ways. This is not about something and something, significance and meanings. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging is not about any significance and meanings. That's why it's turning into the purification of extinction and emptiness. That which has nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement. There is no meaning and significance in it, not taking anything into account. This will turn into the mighty force of helping through unwinding, releasing and liberation, actually. It's not about practicing anything. It's from not involved within the non-involvement itself. It's not about trying to practice the mind at all. It's not about trying to practice anything, child. That turns into the purification of the emptiness and extinction for everything, with everything. Everything is from not involved within the non-involvement itself. It's not about trying to practice the body and mind in whatever ways at all. Actually, instead, it turns into helping through unwinding, releasing and liberation. Everything is from not involved within the non-involvement itself. Everything. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not, with everything. Not having anything to do with disengaging or not, with everything. To be obsessed to practice the body and the mind until it is so confusing. That is being obsessed to create karma, to karma, mind relating to all things, that is karma to karma. To be at the mind, it is at the karma. This way and that way of the mind is just creating karma in this way and that way, on and on. The uninvolvement discarding itself, non-involvement discarding itself. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself, from not involved within the non-involvement itself, from not attached to the non-attachment itself. From disengaging itself. Disengaging, discarding itself, it doesn't grasp itself. that which has nothing to do with disengagements. This is called cutting through deluded knowing to help one another, helping through the purification of the extinction for one another. To aim the mind to each other is just creating karma towards one another. Let's proceed towards that which has nothing to do with disengaging. This is helping through cutting deluded knowing for one another. Aiming the mind to each other, it is karma. The more it is all about significance and meanings and taking things into account, it becomes an irritation in itself. Practicing the mind is the overlaying of karma. Practicing Dhamma or any type of Dhamma is the overlaying of karma, overlaying Dhamma. Practicing recitation is karma of recitation. Practicing meditation is the karma of the meditation. Disengaging from disengaging itself. This is the essence of cutting deluded knowing as giving, not practicing, because that is karma in practicing. There is desire in the practice. Help and for each other, not helping through practicing with each other. To practice, it is karma, helping through karma. There is no ending. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not at all times. This is helping through ending for one another at all times. This is not in the way of using the mind towards all things. Only that it will just having mental karma on and on. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not at all times, then it is helping through ending for one another at all times. Help cut through deluded knowing for one another at all times. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not, it is not about arising or ceasing. It is not about the attempt to be attached or detached. It is not the arising or the ceasing. Naturally, it will be beyond anicca, dukkha, anatta. Even disengaging has nothing to do with disengagement itself. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. Naturally, it will be beyond anicca, dukkha, anatta. It's not classified as anything. It's not classified as anything, even the emptiness. It has no meanings. It's not classified as being enlightened or not, nibbana or not. It's meaningless, child. Just like giving ending to the ending itself for samsara with everything. Even the ending itself, the ceasing itself, cease the ceasing itself, end the ending itself. This is not about the attempt to begin or to end. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. It's not about the attempt to begin or to end. It's not about trying to be attached or detached. This is the so-called helping through ending for samsara, cutting the deluded knowing for samsara.